guys, Jungle Bob here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on a 30-inch Craftsman. It's got several problems wrong with it. We're going to have to put a Scamazon carburetor on it and a steering gear, you know, the common steering gear thing. And I've done a couple of videos on these already about the steering gear, so mainly it's going to be about just changing the carburetor. And a quick and easy way to do it with an aftermarket carburetor. So, and I believe we got a mail call. I just checked my mail when I came out here this morning, and it looks like I have something from, wait a minute, I didn't see the big donut on the mailbox, but we got something from the Lawnmower Detective. We'll open that up and show you guys what it is. So if you're interested, stay tuned. We'll get right into it. So here it is, a little old 30-inch rider. When it came in, he said it wouldn't start it off. He said it wouldn't say anything. What he meant was he could turn the key and it wasn't doing anything. So the first thing we figured out was this guard down here. It's very important. It was way loose. It was kind of, let me zoom in on that. It was loose. This that tightens up right here. There's a safety switch right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. Right there. And without this guard, you see how that is sticking out? Well, when you tighten this up, it'll there you go. So that was the problem on there we go. So that was the problem why it wouldn't turn over. Well, then it had old gas in it, so check that out. I changed the fuel line, new filter. It was all nasty, but then it started vapor locking, so the carburetor was leaking. I took it off, tried to clean it up. It's one of them nicky carburetors that we all hate, and it was still leaking. I'm not going to rebuild it. So I told him what we would do, and we decided to get one of those Scamazon carburetors and put on it. So I'm going to show you how to take this off and change the carburetor. So give me a minute and get set up. Alright guys, so on these, to get all this plastic off, it's a little complicated. So we're not going to do that. Typically on a regular mower I would take all this top cover off and to do all this, but I'm not going to do that on this one. We're going to pinch off the fuel line, get it out of the way. I don't know if y'all can see all that. Maybe. Anyway, then typical carburetor, but there's two bolts, one here and one on the inside, are nuts, and they are 11 millimeters. We're going to take those off, and what I'm going to do is disconnect the carburetor. I'm going to loosen up this air fitting, air filter housing, two 11 millimeters, and then we're going to take off these two 10 millimeters that hold the intake manifold to the head on. You can go ahead and get rid of this filter now if you want to. What I'm trying to do is I just want to get the whole carburetor assembly off, and then we will change the carburetor once it's, you know, all the way off. So 10 millimeter here. There's my kitty cat over there. Y'all can't see him, but there she comes. Let's see. Y'all can see her. There she is over there. Hey, kitty cat. She's mad at me. Yeah, because I wouldn't feed her this morning. I wouldn't feed her what she wanted this morning. She likes a little tuna fish in the morning sometimes. And I don't have any. Alright. So we'll get that loose. You had this little air vent line, you know, your gas line, and then this whole thing will come loose like that. And it's kind of tricky doing it like this. You gotta kind of finagle it around. What I do is you got to reach back here and push that choke lever through and just kind of pull it on out, and then you can get that off like so. Right, that gives you a little more slack. You don't want to stretch this spring too much if you can help it, and then pull your spring out. I know y'all can't see it very well, and then just kind of bend this carburetor up and around the linkage. Got to kind of be, it can be a pain to get it just in the right way, but it'll come off. I say it will. Just like that. Now we got the whole assembly off, and now we're going to go get our reverse Torx, and I believe this is a 5, and we're going to take this carburetor apart from the intake manifold and just swap it over and put it back on. So let me go get that tool to take this apart, and we're going to put the new carburetor on there. Guys, so we're interrupted. This is going to be I was wrong. It's an E12, and there's money coming in. Looks like a John Deere. So let me deal with him real quick, and then I'll get back. Yep. It only stays in reverse is what he said when he called. I bet it's got dirt built up under the transmission lever, but we'll see. So basically we just undid these 2 screws here, or bolts. Carburetor will come off the manifold. We've opened up our new Scamazon carburetor, as Terrell would put it, and we're just going to put it on just like the old one came off, except we got to put a gasket on here. So you got to swap over your gasket. One comes in this kit, or you can take this one off and reuse it however you want to do it. So that is up to you. I'm watching this guy try to turn around in my yard. He's a little confused about how to drive a truck, but maybe he'll get there. They gave us a new gasket, so I'm just going to use it. Kind of bent and stuff, but it'll flatten itself out. So, anyway, it'll go just like that. Pull these out. Through just like that. Easy peasy. Easy money. Right? And put your housing back on, your intake manifold. You just go ahead and finger tighten them to get them going. He's going to get stuck in my yard in a minute. Watch. It's amazing how many people you watch come over here over time. They don't know how to turn a trailer around. And this guy's got a little short trailer. Oh, by the way, I wanted to thank everybody for the live stream donations last night. It was quite generous of all you guys. What the hell? He still having problems. Anyway, I'll come back. Let me help this guy get his truck out of here. We got this back onto the manifold. Sorry about that. That guy, I had to help him turn his trailer around. So, just to reverse, just what I showed you, taking it off, putting it back on. Putting it back on is a little bit trickier. You're still going to have to get, you're just going to have to do it in reverse, and it's kind of, I'm not going to bore you with this, but you got to finagle it around. See, it's a lot easier if you can take this whole cover off and get this out of here. But to get this out of here, you got to take think it's got a screw right here we could take loose. Let me just show you. We'll just do it that way because it is a video. There's a screw right here, the flathead. You can take that loose, and that'll get this out of the way. I am lazy, so I would probably just not even mess with that. But since we are doing a video, I need to show you where it is. And then you can just push this out of the way. And that will make this a whole lot easier. So, I forget, you know, that I'm doing videos. Try to take a little shortcut here and there if I can, but this will make it a lot easier for you guys, especially that doesn't do this every day, all day. So now you can see, you can just flip this, and it's still a little tricky to get in there, but you get it in there. Well, I say you will. Oh no. It is like this. Turn it. Crap. As I was saying, I appreciate all you guys' donations last night. There we go. And then you got to hook your spring back up. Don't forget the springy. That was a nice little live stream we had. Got several people that gave me donations. I appreciate it. Yeah, got the spring in the little tiny hole. There's a little tiny hole right there. Get that spring in there. Then we can put our choke lever back up. It goes in the first hole on here, and it hooks from the bottom side up. In other words, like that. And you got to put it right back through. There's a little bitty hole up here it goes through. All right. Now, pretty much, it's home free from here. You got to go back with your cover that we just took off. Right, I hope you didn't lose the little screw that holds it in there. Mine stayed right in here. So, we're just going to take that back off. Go ahead and fit this back through here. Around the studs. Yep. Back up through the hole, and I like to go ahead and just put one of my, whoops, don't drop them. Just put one of my manifold bolts back in to hold everything nice and loose, but it'll support everything. You can go ahead and put them both in if you want to. Just to get you some support, so you can get this little tiny screw back in up here. And you line it up. Yep. I'm probably not going to show y'all doing that front end, because I did a video on the Cub Cadet not too long ago, putting that steering gear on here. Anyway, get that back tightened down. Then you can run these back in. I don't know what the torque is on these. I'll just go ahead and a good should be fine. Then you can go back with your, that was 10 millimeter, right? And then these up here are 11 millimeters. And we'll go with those next. Yep. It's still easy. I like being able to take the cover off, but thank goodness we ain't got to take the cover off of this, because it's not a lot of fun on these. You got to take this whole plastic piece off. Anyway, all right, so we got that tightened up. Don't forget to back behind here, and I know y'all can't see, there's a little breather hose that's got to hook back up to the air intake. And Get that on there. Well, there we go. And then your air gas tank vent hose goes right here. And then we'll put our fuel line back on. Get our fuel clamp back on. Bam. Take the clamp off. Alright. We'll be letting that carburetor fill up with some gasoline. Now, while we put the spark plug back in, I had it out because, like I said, it was vapor locked. And what did I do with the spark plug? Where is the old sparkable plug? Oh boy. There we go. Down here. There we go. It's all good and dry now. Looks like somebody put a new one in it not too long ago. BKR5E. Let's hope that's the right one. Always start your spark plugs by hand. If you get the threads going good by hand, as tight as you can get it that way, and then before you go at it with a socket, because you do not want to cross thread spark plug. Then you got to pull the whole head and retap and all that good stuff. Now, we don't want to do any of that. Don't want to make it more difficult than it has to be. Alright. This has already been crushed down before, so you ain't got to go hard with it. Just get it on there. Alright. Spark plug wire back on. Make sure we're free and clear of tools, and let's see if she'll fire up. May still have a little water in that gas tank. I drained it, but I didn't pull it off and blow it out. So I'm gonna, but like I said, this is an aftermarket carburetor. May do a valve adjustment on it, but anyway, so that's it for now on this one. And so let's go ahead and take a look at this. From LMD, it's donut time. My hands are awful dirty, but let's just see what we got in here. Oh yeah, I don't want to touch this because my hands are dirty. Look at that. Oh yeah. At the Lawnmower Detective. Nice peak. Nice. Thank you, LMD, man. You're my buddy. Appreciate you. You guys that don't know who he is, go over there and check his channel out. The Lawnmower Detective, Mr. Dave. Great channel. Appreciate you, buddy. And that's going to do it here for me today at Jungle Bob Repairs. So hit that like button, subscribe to my channel. Appreciate all you guys. And we'll see you on the next one. Jungle Bob out.